say that the Castro immediately picked up by Infamous. Although Infamous, they are known for their push comp. They just really want to push. They want to put pressure in that of lane. Objective secures the game at the end of the day. And we have Rona being banned out by the side of Infamous.
Yeah, but here we haven't seen for absolutely ages. Rona is a second ban by the side of Divine Aurora because she's really good against a lot of the assassins that I was talking about earlier. People like Taka are terrible against Rona. Yes, they have Taka as a mortal wound, but you just can't burst Rona down. She's going to get in your face, spin around with the red mist, and it's really hard to burst someone like Rona. So the Kestrel pick and an Arden ban, Renegade are trying to get rid of as many captains as possible. I don't think that's going to work because there's still Catherine, there's still Lance, and they decide to pick up the Catherine. You really can't ban away a captain's hero pool this patch. With the addition of Churnwalker, he's not great, but he'll do. He's a pretty good captain if everyone else is banned away. So I think banning away captains will slowly fall out of the meta because there were loads of good ones, and it will be more priority picking the carries, as we've seen the first pick of Kestrel as a priority pick for Divine Aurora. Now Renegade have got decision what kind of comp they want to run. They've got a Finn, so they could try and go for a dive comp, and they will with an Ozo. And once again, another hero we haven't seen for ages. I'm really excited to see Ozo.
Yep, Ozo with an aftershock, really, really strong. And even before 2.9.1, we've seen quite an incredible plays coming out from Infamous and generally Infamous with Chingy on those Ozo. If not, then I think it's Nebulae on Ozo. But we do see the Adagio being picked up by the side of Divine Aurora, probably just to run, sustain onto that Ozo. And weapon power Adagio just seems very strong in its current patch. Longest range as well. Not sure. I'm not entirely sure as to how the Adagio will match up against a Castrol if Castrol is placed in lane. But I guess Castro can easily poke Adagio out. And Rhyme is one of those heroes that I really wanted to talk about earlier on. And I'm quite surprised as to Divine Aurora did not immediately just securing Rhyme for themselves. And Rhyme just so strong, although he met with some nerfs in 2.9.1. But overall, he is still very strong against melee heroes. And on top of that, he can just push for the early game.
Yeah, Rhyme is really good against Ozo as well because Ozo's got very predictable movements. You know when he's going to jump in, and as soon as Ozo starts his acro bounce, the third bounce is almost guaranteed to be on Kestrel. And so all you have to do is set up an active camo trap, put a Winter Spire down on top of Kestrel. Ozo's going to take massive burst as soon as he lands that damage onto Kestrel with the Winter Spire, probably a stun, Glimmer Shots, and the second Winter Spire because he's stunned in place. That I think it's, if played well, Divine Aurora can easily win this game. But I would like to ask you, Luxury, are you sure it's going to be a Weapon Adagio? Because that doesn't have much healing to scale with Ozo. Do you think we might see a double Crystal comp or maybe even a Weapon Ozo?
Whoa. Weapon Ozo. Wow, you are definitely putting the ball out there, aren't you, Mini? I mean, for a Crystal Adagio, your healing don't quite scale as well. Crystal's Adagio's healing really scales with health. So if you don't ask me, I think Weapon Adagio will be the thing that we'll probably see coming out from Divine Aurora, coming out from Infamous. So we have Infamous on the blue side and we have Divine Aurora on the red side. That is my bad. I mixed them both up.
Close. We have Renegade on A side and Divine Aurora on the B side.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there you go. My bad as well. I need to get Renegades into my head at this point in time. I really, really do. And the Finn, Ozo, and Adagio pickup. Wow, I mean, coming out from Renegades, they usually do run very peculiar, interesting team comps. We've seen it before, and we'll see it today again.
Yeah,
and
Shingy will probably be placed on this Ozo. Shingy's one of really good on heroes like Ozo. We've seen Shingy on Koshka before, and so that is quite a likely pickup, and means obviously it's going to be running jungle. I think even though I kind of want to see a Weapon Ozo, I think Weapon Adagio is much more likely. As you said, it will outrange Kestrel in terms of basic attacks, but once the Glimmer Shots come through from Kestrel, Adagio will be in quite a bit of trouble. So it's all about positioning, whether Renegade can stay behind the minions, stay body blocked by the Kestrel Glimmer Shots, then Adagio, I think at level 1 has got the longest range in the game, whereas at level 8, Petal outranges him, and at level 9 and 12, Baron outranges him. But apart from that, I think level 1 you have got pretty much the longest range in the game, which is pretty significant for early game laner like Adagio can be, and can put quite a lot of pressure with his fire, with his buff at level 2. It could be a problem for Kestrel to try and farm up.
I personally don't know. I mean, just looking at drafts, I really want to say I like the draft coming out from Divine Aurora. I mean, they drafted very well. The Kestrel being picked up definitely will be able to poke out that of Adagio, but Adagio, of course, in the early game has got its own sustain with that Gift of Fire, and the amount of CCs coming out from Divine Aurora as well. That Catherine and into the root coming out from Rhyme with the Chill Winds. If not, then the Valkyrie stun out slow. So, if you don't ask me, I really want to say that Divine Aurora definitely will come out on top. Do come out on top in terms of draft. And I really like the early game. Before Ozo actually gets the Aftershock, he does decent damage, but just not as much as Rhyme. And as you say, Ozo's movement are very, very predictable, and it's quite easy for Rhyme to just catch him out.
What do you think about Rhyme getting an Aftershock this game? Do you think it's a possibility, or is it a stupid idea? Because Rhyme uses basic attacks in his kit. You have to get that Frost Guard applied. Aftershock is very strong, especially against someone like Finn in this patch. Do you think that's a possibility, or are we just going to see the standard Shatterglass into Eve of Harvest into Clockwork Rhyme we've normally seen? Or maybe Dragon's Eye?
Yeah, I think that will be the Rhyme that we will be seeing. I mean, I have not quite seen a lot of Aftershock Rhymes going around, although it makes total sense. Rhyme is a close range mage, is a melee mage, and basic attacks are generally how he rolls. But so far, we haven't quite seen usage on Aftershock on Rhyme at all.
Yeah, that's a bit too forward thinking for people at the moment, but they'll see in a couple of months that Aftershock Rhyme is actually OP, and I thought of it first. But we are now loading into the Halcyon Fold for the first game of the weekend. And it looks like it is going to be, unfortunately, Crystal Ozo, the much stronger path this patch, and a Weapon Adagio, which does make sense. We've seen it come out a little bit in North America, and it was obviously quite big in Southeast Asia a few months ago, and maybe teams have remembered that Weapon Adagio didn't get changed for ages, so he's just as strong as he was quite a while ago.
Yeah, but what change we see here, it's just the rise of Petal increase the usage of Adagio, because in the early game you can't just poke him out with Tezza Boy.
We're going to try and steal away the Elder Tree, and unable to do so. The Divine Aurora do secure the first Elder, and now they're going to work towards their back camps of the jungle. There was an important experience change in the jungle, which does cause a couple of different rotations to be possible. If you have your laner and jungler take the back camps and then the mid heal, and make sure that the laner gets one of the farm, then you'll both be level 2 immediately, and you can go in and try and invade if you have a quicker farm clear. So that is something that we might see later on, but not quite today. Divine Aurora is deciding to go with the backwards rotation just to make sure they get that Elder Tree. And so that is something that I've seen quite a lot of teams do, which is just try and go aggressive early on. And they are going to go aggressive. Onto Tezza Boy, stun, onto Spaghetti. Boots from Tezza Boy to try and keep Spaghetti alive, and he will be able to do this, but will he fall for it himself? Neonsi not going to have any more Glimmer Shots to try and chunk him down. Spaghetti, though, very low, forced to Gift of Fire on himself, not going to get any burn. So he's going to be a little bit low on energy. Now Rhyme looking to see what he can get. Spitfire 101, waiting for the front camp. It's not up. Going to go to the Elder Tree, and now Kestrel is fine in lane. Finn's not quite sure where to go. He wants to help his Ozo secure that farm, but Adagio's in a bit of trouble. But look at that wave for Kestrel.
Yep, and like I mentioned earlier on, whether Crystal or Weapon Adagio, you would do not as well against a Neon Sea on this, or rather Adagio, you will not do as well as compared to Neon Sea on this Kestrel in terms of poke, as long as Kestrel has got access to those Glimmer Shots. And we just saw the amount of damage that Kestrel could put out with just a couple, if not then 3 Glimmer Shots there. So maybe that side of Renegades really have to rethink as to how they are going to go with this this game. We saw that, Renegades in itself, they are very good with the early game snowball, but if they are put on a back feed, and we saw it once coming up from Branchong going up against Renegades, and Branchong just pushed them till they are behind in gold, behind the objectives, but Renegade just have got in them to just turtle up well farm up, and then come back. Just capitalize on the single mistakes made by Divine Aurora, but now margin going in on Boy.
Yep, looking to get some Captain of the Guard stacks, maybe secure some farm more. Divine Aurora as 3 going towards this mid-healing camp, and it is going to be secured by Kestrel. Nice quibble, but actually it's on to margin. That's not the target you want with the Storm Guard. First blood over to Divine Aurora, they're about 1k gold ahead. Adagio is looking for some backs, but I don't think they're going to be up with that. Actually, they are going to spawn right now, so that's really good for the side of Renegade. And now Shingy could be in a bit of trouble, but he's going to be able to get away. It's a bit far, we'll get the entire back camps. The wave for Kestrel is really poorly well frozen by Adagio. This means Neonsi is going to be getting almost nothing. He doesn't get any ambient backs with Rhyme, isn't able to get any lane because it's been pushed into turret. So well played by Spaghetti to handle the wave and rotate to the backs to make sure that he kept up in gold as much as possible.
Yep, very well played indeed, but we do see the bigger wave will be coming in for Neon C now. Spaghetti currently sitting at 27, 28 CS, and now Neon C can just easily catch up now, 29, 30. There you go. So although Spaghetti definitely helped lane well.
Big Spaghetti could be in trouble. That's a good stun. That's a root. That's some glimmer shots, and Catherine's past it. He's in a lot of trouble in lane. That's very interesting because you thought you'd be okay. You had quite a big wave. Kestrel was busy farming, but it turns out Divine Auroras wanted their blood, and now they want to look to seize this tier 1 turret. Ozo is not there. Darjo's obviously in base because he's just died. So are they going to go for it? No, they're just going to rotate down to shop. Kestrel's going to not quite be able to pick up the Soil Blade because she did get that energy battery early on. So it's good to help the glimmer shots, but it's costing him now because he just has to wait. Needs to get a little bit more farm before having that power spike of Soil Blade. Where Spaghetti obviously still can't get his, but Divine Auroras now aren't ahead in terms of items because Neon C hasn't been able to pick that one up.
Yeah, but we do see Boy just being very aggressive in that mustache bush, trying to find someone. Chingy as well rotating up. 3-man push onto this tier 1 turret of Divine Aurora.
Trying to get as much damage as they can, but it won't be too much. Spaghetti going to buff himself, but unable to get any basic attacks on anyone burning. So he's down to half health, half energy, sorry. Kestrel going aggressive, and there's going to be a nice polite company from Finn to make sure there wasn't too much aggression on Spaghetti. Quibble on Spitfire, but that will not hurt him a bit. That's going to take a lot of poke from that Rhyme. And now Ozo doesn't really know what to do. Shingy only level 5, no Aftershock yet. So Shingy wants to farm up, wants to make sure that 950 gold is there, so that he can pick up the tier 1 item, which is really strong at the moment. Adagio going to get stunned up, and the Valkyrie comes down. It is actually silencing up the Finn, so that would have been a stun. But now Spitfire's taking a bit of damage. Tesla going very low, but he's not going to fall. Now they're going to siege down this tier 1 turret. Tesla almost going to go down. Polite Company wasn't quite needed, but he does not fall. The Bangarang is available for Shingy if it's wanted, and Valkyrie is on cooldown. The Divine Aurora could be in a bad position. They are going to back off. Kestrel needs to farm, needs to shop for that Soil Blade. Finn has got Fountain, and Catherine has got it, but has not used it. Now Spaghetti could be in a bit of trouble. Stun. Where's the root from Rhyme? He does land it in the end. Spaghetti's going to fall. No question. Kestrel with the last hit. And Adagio back to base picks up his own Soil Blade. Kestrel actually didn't manage to shop. So 2,500 gold is on the on-seed. Jump from Ozo. He's not going to get stunned out of it. Will he get stunned on the active camo? Yes, he will. Play Company to give Shingy alive. That Fountain doing so much work with the Carney Lux perk from Ozo. Now Tesla Boy is going to be taking the rest of the damage. Adagio is back though, so Divine Auroras know they're going to back off. Kestrel's been spotted out by the Bangarang. There's a scout trap. Kestrel being jumped on. Will it do enough damage? Ozo not doing enough, but the quibble from Finn comes through. The on-sea with 2,800 gold. Bit greedy to go down to shop, but that scout trap doing so much work.
Yep, I really wanted to say earlier on that Spaghetti's positioning when the side of Diva were pushing into the turret was very, very well placed. That way he can poke, get everyone low, and with that,
Valkyrie, massive stun, well played from Spitfire, gets the basic, gets the Winter Spire, gets the root. Now Tesla Boy will be the next double for Spitfire. He's 3-0. The tier 1 turret went down for Divine Aurora, but they will get returned with their own. No question. Shingy's not going to be able to defend this. I doubt he's even going to try. Yeah, too much damage from this Kestrel. Rhyme with the CC. And I think Neon C must know that there's a scout trap around here because he got swatted out by the Bangarang when he was invisible, but he's not going to decide to pop it. Just thinking that maybe there was a flare, so he doesn't quite get that. And yeah, Shingy's got the Aftershock, so that's a really nice power spike. Spitfire doesn't have an Aftershock, so that's not as nice a power spike for him, but has got tier 2 boots and tier 2 defense.
Yep, and like I mentioned earlier on, I really want to say that Spaghetti really held his position well and could put out so much damage onto the side of Divine Aurora when they were trying to push, so much so that they had the opportunity to go in for a return turret, in which the side of Renegades actually did. But what happened then was Spaghetti, or the vision control coming out from Renegades in this at this point in time, really lacking. Margin and gang, really the entirety of Tiva could just come in easily for a gank, and oblivious to Spaghetti, he just goes down almost immediately. The burst coming out from Rhyme, the stun, the roots, and everything just paired up together. A wombo combo, if I must say, just immediately can delete anyone coming out from the side of Renegades.
Divine Aurora double infusing, one on Margin, one on Yonsei. Tezboy going to use Polite Company and the boots to try and run away from Margin. Going to reflect a bit of that damage back. This could be a gold mine. Started up by Divine Aurora to probably just debate a fight. They know they're ahead. They're infused on Kestrel and on Margin for some reason. He's got his blast ram available. Is it going to come down for the Finn? Is going to pull them in, but he doesn't really get a blast ram. It does come down, and it is not blocked by anyone. Ozo, not in a great position, but so is Neonsi. Going to get Glimmer shot down. There's the Bangarang. He doesn't know where Kestrel is because he went active camo in the trap. Shingy going to fall to the Kestrel. Now the fountain was used by Margin and by Tezboy, but it was not enough for Tezboy on Renegade. He's going to go low himself. He will play company, but will not be enough. Kestrel gets another double kill, and this will be an easy gold mine. Margin so low, he'll be able to just spot out when Adagio is there. Basic attack from Adagio. Kestrel going to go in. Margin so low, but Kestrel gets the delayed ace. And this actually, so well played from Spaghetti, stops the gold mine from Divine Aurora. So that's really, even though he died, that's more than worth it.
That is more than worth it, but what's more worth it, it's for the side of Divine Aurora, currently sitting at 20.9k gold as compared to Renegade 17.9, and with that gold lead in mind, it is not quite a large gold lead for any teams who actually have 10 minutes in, but what we are seeing here is Divine Aurora definitely finding their footing up against Renegades. I mean, just looking at point standing itself, we do see Divine Aurora at 1 point and Renegades top of charts of 22, but the performance coming out from Divine Aurora now is just immense. I mean, they are playing tremendously.
Yeah, we did say that we expected Divine Aurora to have the better draft, and if they executed it properly, then I said it'd be pretty easy for them to pull off their combos and win the game. But that was the problem. That was the question. Could they execute? Gold mine going to be started up, secured by the Kestrel with the gun shot. Now Dajo going to get stunned up. Double stun. No, was blocked by the Valkyrie, but that means the blast hammer cannot be blocked, and it will silence up Spaghetti. Chingy going to go take a lot of damage from Spitfire, jumping around, but Kestrel gets the kill. Now Tezboy's the next target. He's going to be stunned up, and now Spaghetti's last man standing might be able to get Margin. No, the fountain's still there. Margin will be fine. Yonsei going to push this wave under turret, wait for some glimmer shots, and just siege this turret down. Margin looking for a stun. Will he get it onto the Dajo? Not quite in time, but that still means they're going to get the turret, and that is another nice gold lead up to about 6k for Divine Aurora.
Yep, and I do understand where Divine Aurora is coming from, or rather the side of Renegades are coming from when they actually went with the Adagio, Ozo, and the Finn pickup. You know, you have that fortified health coming up from Finn, just effectively extend and increasing your effective HP, if that makes sense, because of the extra shield and extra armor you get from Finn's, or rather the fortified health coming up from Polite Company. And with Chingy as well, can just be very much like a distraction in the front lines for Spaghetti to just put out basic damage after one and the other and just burn the entirety of Divine Aurora down. But their team comp is just not working such, because you have Margin that can go in, stun out Spaghetti, and they are generally just fighting in very, very close quarters and definitely into the win conditions, the play conditions for Divine Aurora. Had they just fought in lane, right? If they pick the battles in lane, then you'll have bigger space for Spaghetti to just reposition himself, move around. But as we know, Spaghetti, or rather Adagio, is one of those heroes that do not quite have the mobility of other weapon carries per se, like that of Vox or Gwen or Ringo.
Yeah, I think that Adagio could be stuck in a really awkward position. As soon as Spitfire gets on top of him, he's basically dead unless Finn can do some magic with Force Accord And he's going to try that magic on the gold mine, most certainly. Nope, not going to be able to get there in time. Nice stun from Catherine, silencing up the Finn, so he couldn't use any abilities. Fly Company try and get a bit of barrier onto Renegade. Block on the forced cord, but the minions can't block it, so they're going to go over the wall. And Divine Aurora's looking to go in. Catherine's going to get Waterheads next up. So Waterheads has way more health now. Has the same health as Crucible, so that really will help Margin be so much more tanky. And with 22 Captain of the Guard stacks, I thought they were going to back off, but not quite. They're going to go in a bit more aggressive. Catherine stunning up. Spaghetti going to be blocked up. That means the root cannot with Spitfire, but there's a stun from the Finn. He's never late. That's a quibble. That's a stun. Shingy going to go in. Lots of damage on Spitfire with that offshot. 700 burst onto Spaghetti's Adagio. Shingy could be in a bad position. Going to try and run away from the Kestrel. That's not where you want to be. You want to be diving in on Kestrel. But Shingy's getting so much healing. He's still really healthy, but now he's going to go quite low. Fountain's not up. He hasn't got any Eve of Harvest for himself. And the one shot is available. Is Kestrel going to try it on anyone? Not yet. Just going to take this tier 3 turret for Divine Aurora. They're in such a good position.
They are currently sitting at 32.9k gold as compared to Renegades 24.8. So that is about a close to 9k difference between both of these teams. Of course, in favor of Divine Aurora, and they are definitely looking very, very strong. And as you mentioned in draft itself, and I was actually surprised, to be honest. I initially thought that Renegades was on the red side, and we have Divine Aurora on the blue side, and thus it explains the draft coming out. But I guess Renegades definitely have practice with this draft, but just did not quite put Rhyme into considerations. I mean, Rhyme is just so strong in the current patch, has always been strong in a lot of the patches. It's just that he hasn't quite seen a lot of plays, and people is just starting to just pick him up because of the changes. Overall, the fortified health now is just so valuable for every hero, and thus you see a Finn being prioritized over a lot of other Romans as well. So they are now going on to the gold mine yet again, just pushing their gold lead even further, probably hitting the 10k mark, and it's quite rarely seen. It is not, commonly seen for any team, especially teams that are not seated so low, but so low in the brackets, the point standings, to actually have that close to 10k lead against Renegades. But I will not count Renegades just out yet. They have got potential to come back from this game, but it is just down to positioning.
Yep, they're going to have to come back pretty soon. This Kraken with 20% less health when you're trying to capture it will be taken down so quickly. No glimmer shots have even been used. They're going to go in. That's the time to engage. Spaghetti taking a lot of poke. Shingy gets the back line. Going to get stunned up. And there's the bang on to the Rhyme. But Rhyme's already got the kill into Adagio. Kestrel gets the kill onto Ozo. Tesla Boy's last man standing. And Spitfire wants the Kraken. Double stun's not going to be enough. Double for Kestrel. Kraken for Divine Aurora, and they can't quite win, but I guess Renegade have got one last stand to try and defend this Kraken, or else that will be game 1.
This is so similar to yesterday's game between Misfit and actually SKT. I'm not sure if they actually do follow the other MOBA, but it was quite an interesting match. Misfit is one of the underdogs, as very similar to what we are seeing here. Divine Aurora definitely one of the underdogs coming in against Renegades, one of the big teams. In fact, the top 3 teams currently in Southeast Asia. I don't want to say that Elite 8 is not one of the top 3 teams, but they haven't quite fared well in this past 2 splits or the season. At least Chingy definitely looking for the banger rank, trying to just catch Neon C on that caster out. Once again, Force the Card blocked out.
Yeah, Force scored. Nice block. No echo for the Finn, but he's going to go with the quibble. Does get a double stun. Shingy going into the backline. Has got the offshock. Has got Dragon's Eye. There's the bangerang. Blocked up by Neon C. Shingy's just diving in. There's the 3-ring circus. Second proc. Not going to be used, but you will get the shutdown onto Kestrel. This could be the turnaround. Spaghetti's now no longer Atlas. Will he be able to get away from Spitfire? No, that's a lovely route and a stun. Spitfire's going to get the kill. And now what will Shingy be able to do? The Kraken's bearing down on the turrets. Shingy is full health. Spitfire's running out of energy, and so is Shingy. So who's going to be the one to break first? Will it be the base, or will it be Divine Aurora? Tesla Boy's going quite low. Spitfire's had enough of fighting. He's going to take down the Vayne. Divine Auroras take game 1.
Wow, what an upset. I don't want to say it's a turnaround, but it is turnaround in terms of point standings. Divine Aurora definitely won the game at draft, right? We saw it, we say it, and you said it yourself. Ozo against Rhyme, it's just so easy for Rhyme to just play against Ozo, and Ozo really did not quite stand a chance in the entirety of the match. There is one fight, however, and that is the last fight that's ended. That no,